everyone, Matthew Stevens here. We're going to walk you through how to use the basics of Google Sites. So the first thing you need to know about Google Sites is that it is run by Google, as the name describes. Really easy site to use. So Google Sites is used above the other competition because it really has a lot of resources that others might not. The benefits of having a Google site is that the interconnectivity of Google tools is fantastic. So let's start by just going to Google Sites. We can search that right into Google. Now you want to be using your Google account here. I'm already signed in, so it's just going to take me right there. If you are not signed into a Google account, it will probably ask you. And if it doesn't, right in the upper right hand corner, you can go ahead and sign in there. So kind of moving on to the first step is actually starting the production. So down in the bottom right hand corner there's a little plus button. So you're going to click that button and then it's going to open up a new website for you. So right away you're going to have some options to play with the aesthetics to get started. So really the look and feel of your website is really can be specific to you, and there's lots of options that you have. So first of all, titling your site. You're going to want to title your site so you can find it later in case you close out of the tab or anything like that. So we're just going to title this practice site, and you can title it whatever you want. Your title page that it automatically populates, we're just going to call it our home. So again, we're playing with the different fonts and the styles, making it look the way we want. Just nice and big, we're going to have it be home. Now the other thing about your home page is right away you're going to want to play with the backgrounds in the header. So the header type, we can change it to a large banner, a cover so it's like the whole thing, just the title. I'm just going to stick with the banner option. So now we can change our image. So you can either upload from your computer or select an image from online. Let's say we wanted to make our website about pets. Okay, so I can search for pets. We can find a cute picture of a couple of pets. Let's just go with that one. So just notice how easy and clean that was, just a quick search on Google, and you can add that image. Now, as you can see, the colors just kind of changed because Google has this great feature where it will ensure that your titles and headers are very visible even if you add pictures. Okay, so that kind of is just the first step. Now you have lots of options up at this upper right hand corner. So we have insert, we have pages where you can see the different pages of your website, and then themes. So first let's just talk about the insert tab. This is really where you're looking about where you can add materials. So adding materials is what you'll be mostly doing in your website. We can see right away that there's options for text, images, you can embed a website or link things from Google Drive. We also have different layouts. So let's just choose one of these layouts. We're just going to click and drag. As we can see, we have a spot for an image as well as for text. So let's say we want to talk about the different kinds of pets, so because we had this image about pets. So let's say I could select image. Again, we're going to search pets. We'll find a different one from our original there. So we search for pets, just another cute dog, we can use that. So pets, making our lives better. So you can just kind of play around with this. So you have a header, and then you can add some other info here. This is great. So when adding materials, you can play around with where exactly you have these words. If you wanted the picture to be on the other side, you can do that. You can add something else here. I like kind of the clean layout of just playing around with this. So you really have lots of options. That kind of covers most of what you can do with inserting things. When you insert text, you can play around with what kind of text you want it. You can change the size, the breadth, the width, whatever you want. You can just add a plain image without text. You have tons of options here. So we've kind of added those materials. But I want to talk about pages as well as just inserting. So adding materials is great, but you don't want it all to be on one page. So let's say, since we're talking about pets, let's say we want to have a page about dogs, and then we could have a page about cats just to get started. So now I can go and edit this, and notice Google is really great in that it will automatically populate the title for that page. So we have our home, which is what our visitors will go to first, dogs and cats. And now I can change this background image. I can keep it the same. I can also navigate the pages up here in the top right. So then for each page, I'm going to add, I can go back to insert. Maybe I want to have a couple pictures of cats and some information there. Lastly, we have themes. Maybe I want it to be more of a professional looking or more playful. It's really up to what you want, and then you can also change the color in each of those themes. So that kind of brings it back to our aesthetics, but you can play around with what you do. You can do different font styles and different themes as well. So super handy stuff there. So let's say we are ready to publish our website. Before you publish and put it up there, you're going to want to preview it and make sure it's what you want. So at the top center of the screen, there's a little button that says preview. You want to click that button, and it's going to take you to, okay, I type in this web address, this is what actually comes up. So this is just a sample of what my website is actually going to be. So the scrolling is really nice and smooth. Up at the top, I can click at the different tabs. So there we have home, dogs, and then cats. And so since I didn't populate these images, it still comes up as blank. You can also, down here, you can see, okay, if someone visits on your iPhone or Android, you can see what it looks like. Same with a tablet view compared to the basic web view. Let's say it's like, oh, I totally forgot to add pictures of cats. I can exit out of my preview there, and it's going to take me right back to the editing page. So if I want to add an image there, I can again select image. I can search. Let's search for a cat. Add a cute little kitty. And then maybe I've decided I don't want this picture anymore. I just want this cat, and I want it to be a big picture of this cat. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to preview it one more time just to check. Yep, that looks great. That's obviously a cat. I'm feeling good about this. So I'm feeling good, so I'm going to click the publish button. This is kind of the last step before you adjust your sharing settings. So automatically, this is how your website is going to start with the sites.google.com/view, and then you can kind of choose what you want to do. So I'm going to say cats and dogs are friends. See, that's already taken, so I can add a couple numerical devices afterwards. Cats and dogs are friends 1, 2, 3. That's pretty easy for me to remember, and it's that way. You can also do a custom URL, which you do need to pay for. And then lastly, we have the privacy settings. So who can view my site? Right now I have it set to anyone, which is what I want. However, if I wanted to change it to only certain people or certain not people, like I can change those things. I can also add other people to be able to edit it as well. Okay. Lastly, I can request public search engines to not display my site, which again, if you want any traffic at all on your website, I recommend not clicking that. If you're all set, you hit publish, and Google will publish your site, and as of now it is live, so you can click view when it comes up, and this is your actual website. The last thing I'll say is it's really easy to go back and edit. If you were signed into your Google account, it's pretty simple. You just click this little the edit this page button in the bottom right screen, take you right back to the Google sites. So that's all there is to it. Those are the basics. Feel free to email or call with any more questions, but you should be off to setting your own sites very, very soon.